They asking God, 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 God. I go to sleep. I left the prayer meeting. I go to sleep and God gives me the answer. True story. Gives me the answer. I fell asleep and had a dream, and I was in 1644. I was in a vision in 1644. Now, and Matt, you got to understand, I'm not a history student. I probably flunked it in high school. And some of y'all see us prophesy politics, and I say the same thing. I don't know politics. I'm qualified to speak on behalf of God because it's not in me. I'm not biased. I don't have no information, no knowledge of it. Anything that I know is word of knowledge by His Spirit. So I don't know history like that. But I fall asleep and I'm in a dream, and I'm in 1644 in Plymouth. In the Plymouth County. The settlement. And I'm watching the founders. Because 1644 is where they founded not just Massachusetts, but it's where the settlers first came in and began to establish colonies in the United States of America. Huh? And then pray, God, show us Boston, show us the principality, and He gives the prophet a dream. Not just any dream. 1644, there I am in Plymouth, the second colony in Plymouth, right there. And I'm watching the founders and one of the primary founders, and I'm in his office. I'm watching him in his mansion, in his offices. And all kind of crazy going on in there. I'm watching men sleeping with men and women being brought in. I'm watching the transaction take place from one room to another. The angel of the Lord walks me into each room, and there's orgy happening here, this happening here, and what kind of vision is this? Plymouth. 1644. I'm watching all this take place. I wake up from the gym. I say, what in the heck just happened? I said, okay, now, whatever happened here became a door, not just for Massachusetts, but for the U.S. of A. Amen. Whatever happened here, because God He'll show you the source He'll show you where it started. He'll show you the altar that let the devil in. He'll show you the altar that allowed the curse to come. Amen. And God said, this is where it started. Right here. When Europe brought that spirit into U.S., and I'm going to give you the name of the man who did it. Somebody begin to pray. Now, isn't it a shame that we're hijacking this assignment from the church in Boston? They were supposed to be the ones that got the reward for carrying out this intercessory assignment. But the devil, from the day I preached, I had the dream. No microphone came into my hands all the way until I left. Not one. The devil made sure I was not allowed to speak one word until I left Boston because of what God revealed to me. And get this, I was the main speaker. And how do you forget? I sat in the green room for 5 hours. How do you forget? Only the devil. Just understand that. Carrying a dream with the nation locked up in it. Amen. And I can't fault the church and I can't fault the people. They didn't know better. Unless someone would be awake. Amen. You pray and you're asking God to give you answer to something, and God puts it in the foolish thing. And there's really, I was supposed to be. That's what I was there for. Amen. Does someone see it? So I said, God said, this is where it began. I said, okay, I need to look this up because this is too wild for me not to know what actually took place here. And God said, look it up. And this is what I found. Now imagine, I had the dream first. And then I looked up to fact check my dream, to reveal a hidden truth that many people really wasn't paying attention to. And it says early Massachusetts colony records show instances of debauchery. They named the place where that colony was, they named it Marymount. Because the pilgrims, that's what they called the orgies and the same-sex stuff. They called it merriment. This colony was the first of its kind in this land that was documented. Amen. This colony was the first of its kind that was documented in America. The name of the man was the second settlement. Remember I told you in my dream, where was I? It was in the second. He was the second settlement leader named Thomas Morton. So much debauchery in his camp that the pilgrims got concerned and tried to get rid of him multiple times, tried to get rid of him. But he became the founder of Marymount, which later they changed the name, which later became Boston. Wow. Boston, Massachusetts. And there he was in his mansion. And I watched with these spiritual eyes. I watched what happened in real prophetic time. I watched what happened from room to room. And God said, this is where it starts. Does somebody see it? So because there was a precedent and there was a first, wherever there's a first, it follows a first, and it follows a first, and it follows a first. Go do your history check. Boston, Massachusetts was the first to legalize same-sex marriage. Boston, Massachusetts is the first to have an openly compromised female governor. The first, and the first male. The first, all in Boston. Right now, every sitting politician in Boston, from the representatives to the governors, every single one of them carried the same spirit of Marymount. Wow. And the wild thing is, you wouldn't know it. Thomas Morton, he was secretly in that stronghold. And you go to LA, it's in the open. But you go to Boston, it's just like a regular place. Because there's a hidden enemy. Just understand that. So what is God doing? Somebody pray. Somebody pray.
Nebe ikoribe sindelebe siki matorobaka shansebe selonde luborebe kasi andelebe la shento roba koko Nindo repe seven siki. Indiara bata. Nondo roko. Iselabakasiki. Rentobo riki sante. Shente.
Now, you got the whole church praying. God, show us the principality. And he gives it to me. He gives it to me. God showed me a revival that's going to take place in Massachusetts in 2044. I asked the Lord, I said, are you going to release revival this year? God said, no. There's going to be a spot here and a spot there. But he said, there's something big that's coming that I'm trying to open at the 400 year. 1644 to what? 2040. 1644 to 20. At the 400 year expiration of this demonic contract. But I need someone to stand. He's talking to his church. And declare my word on behalf of this thing. Someone see it? Right there, also what's tying up America from that spot was where something entered. And when these prophetic feet hit the ground, God exposed it to me. Amen. And he said, pray. Speak to this thing. I wish I could have partnered with a church in the region, was the assignment. But the devil made sure I didn't open my mouth from the time I had that dream to the time I hit the airport.